Thanks, Bikram. Good evening to all of you, and thanks for joining this Q3 FY21 earnings call for Cupid Ltd. We have mailed the results press release to you. I hope you have received the same, and we have also uploaded this on our website and the stock exchanges. To discuss the results and address the queries of the investors, we have with us Mr. Om Garg, Chairman and Managing Director of the company. Mr. Garg will give a brief overview of the quarter gone past, and then we'll open the floor over to Q&A session. I would like to remind you that everything said on this call that reflects any outlook for the future or which can be considered as a forward-looking statement must be viewed in conjunction with the uncertainties and the risks that we face. These uncertainties and risks are included but not limited to what we have mentioned in the prospectus filed with SEBI and subsequent annual report which you can find on the website. With that said, let me hand over the call over to Mr. Garg. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Vinay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Cupid Ltd, I would like to welcome you all for attending the third quarter FY21 earnings conference call today. We hope that by now you have had a chance to look at the results and the press release we had issued last night after the board meeting. And therefore, I would go straight away to the question-answer session.
Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the question-and-answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and one on their touch-tone phone now. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue once your questions have been answered, you may press star and two. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. To ask a question, please press star one now. We have a first question from the line of Yogansh from Mittal Analytics. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thanks for the opportunity. Sir, I'm looking for a breakup of your order book in terms of male condoms and female condoms. Out of this 100 odd crores, what would be the breakup of each, sir?
Male condom order book is 75 crore as of January 1, 2021.
Okay. And remaining is for female. Hello?
Yeah. Please say that again.
I'm saying the remaining out of the 114, 75 is for male, remaining is for female, right, sir?
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you properly.
Is my voice audible now, sir?
No, you asked about the male condom order from the order book?
Yes. Yes, I'm saying the remaining is for female, right? Out of the 114 odd crore order book, 75 is what you said is for male. The remaining is for female, right?
No, male condom is 75 crores and female condom order is 44 crores and other items like lube is the balance 2 crore for a total of 121 CR.
Understood, sir. And sir, we were expecting a bigger order from Brazil, so any guidance that you can share on that, sir?
I cannot hear you, the last part of your question.
Sir, we had spoken about a Brazilian order, so any further update on that, sir?
On the Brazil order, no. We have that female condom order we had received worth 45 CR. That would be supplied by the end of third quarter, hopefully. And then they are planning to issue another tender by the year end. Another tender from Brazil by year end and another tender for female condom from South Africa in June and July. And the dispatches on that will start on October 1, 2021, and it would be for a period of 3 years from South Africa, and Brazil tender would be for 1 year.
Got it, sir.
Understood, sir. I'll get back in the queue, sir, for any follow-ups. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. We have next question from the line of Dhwanit Savla, an investor. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Congratulations on the quarter gone by. My first question was with regards to the cost of the raw materials. How has the costing of the raw materials been in this past quarter, and are they expecting any increase in them?
I'm so sorry, your voice was not audible. Please repeat.
I was looking for guidance on our cost for this past quarter gone by, as well as for the coming quarters. Has the base price for latex has anything increased, or are we expecting an increase?
For the third quarter, as compared to the forecast, we have less sales for female condom. And the main reason for that is the impact on the Department of Health budget in South Africa due to COVID-19 pandemic.
No, sir, I was asking from the raw material cost. I mean, is the cost of producing going to increase in the coming quarters? That's what I was trying to understand.
Our cost actually has come down by 10% as compared to the first quarter production cost.
And is this going to be sustainable, or do we have an outlook on how the costs are going to be for the coming quarter, at least based on the raw material pricing which we have right now?
I could not understand.
I am trying to understand the costs which we have right now. Are these sustainable, or are we increasing? Are we expecting an increase in the cost?
Yes, I think our cost is going down by improvement in labor productivity, and also the raw material costs are pretty steady, or in some cases going down.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and one on their touchtone phone now. We have next question from the line of Onkar Gangurde from Sri Consultancy. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, sir. My question was regarding the US FDA update. What's the status in the US? If you can give the latest developments happening over there and plans of Cupid.
Please say it again. Which plans for Cupid?
No, I was asking about what has been the latest development on the US FDA front. What has been going on of your plan, which you plan to enter in USA market, sir?
For condoms or for diagnostics?
No, for condoms business, sir.
Okay. In terms of male condoms, the worldwide demand is increasing. In fact, in the past quarter, we have received the largest order from WHO UNFPA, and even during this February month so far, we have received additional order of 4 CR for male condoms. So overall, I would say that the demand for male condom is improving, and Cupid has a cost advantage. It seems based on the tender competitive price quoted, Cupid is one of the lowest cost producers in the world. And for female condom, we are getting ready for the next two tenders expected later in the year. 1-year tender from Brazil and a 3-year tender from South Africa. Further, we have started a contract manufacturing contract with an Indian company for Cupid female condom, and they would be retailing it to the consumers directly throughout the country. And finally, we plan to expand our sales on the internet to Amazon and Flipkart. We are doing about 15,000 pieces right now, and it seems like the demand is increasing, mostly from India, but also from overseas.
Okay, good to hear that, sir. But my question was regarding what is happening with the US FDA front.
Oh, in the US, because of the COVID situation, the clinical trial in South Africa was interrupted during the summer months, and now we expect the final report to be ready towards the end of this year, causing a delay of 4 to 5 months. So by the time we apply to US FDA, it could be April or May next year. But the market in US still looks very attractive and very remunerative.
So you would be applying to the US FDA in April or May?
As soon as the clinical trial report on the contraceptive efficacy is out, we will immediately go to US FDA. We are already in touch with them, and we have submitted all the preliminary information about our product to them already.
Okay, I mean, how confident are you that you would be getting the license to do... Hello?
Yeah. Well, our objective is to try to fulfill all their requirements. And the final decision would depend on their evaluation. Of course, we are quite hopeful that we should receive FDA approval sometime next year in 22.
No, my question was regarding why you are so hopeful, or what makes you confident that you would be getting the approval?
Well, the main reason is that our product has been tested and tried in over 50 countries, and this special clinical trial was a requirement of US FDA, and the results so far have been quite encouraging. So that is what gives us the confidence about our optimism in terms of US FDA permission.
Okay, and you would be the second player to enter this female condom space, right? In US market?
Yes, correct. We would be the second company.
Okay. The next question is regarding, if you look at the results, the other expenses have gone up from, say, around 11.5 crore to 14.5 crore. So what is the main reason behind it?
Hello? Yeah, please.
Yeah, my question was regarding in the result which you have published, the other expenses have gone up from around half CR to 14.5 CR. So what are the major factors contributing that increase, sir, in other expenses?
No, the main increase is the marketing expense and also the increased cost of registration of our products. We are trying to register our products in 8 new countries, and we are already selling our products to 93 countries so far in last 10 years. So the other cost increases is due to marketing and registration expenses mostly. Hello?
Mr. Onkar, sir, do you have any further questions? Sir, we're not able to hear you. Mr. Onkar? As there is no response, we're going to the next question. Anyone who wishes to ask a question at this time, press star and 1 on their touchtone phone now. We have a next question from the line of Subbu Murug, an investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi there. Thank you for taking my question, sir. You said that. Can you give an update on the medical devices venture where you have the joint venture with Invex? Can you give an update on that?
Yes, please. So we have received that one order from the government of UP for about 8.3 CR, and out of that we have 6 crores worth of kits by December 31st. Now, going forward, our facilities in Nashik are getting ready and should be ready for commercial operation by mid-April. And the demand for the rapid kit, not only corona, but also dengue, for malaria and HIV worldwide, tremendous. And based on our contact with several potential customers, we expect the to be starting from first quarter next year at say 7.5 CR, second quarter, and third and fourth quarter moving from 15 to 20 crores. So we are looking at pretty good performance next year on these diagnostic kits.
Okay, sir. So basically you're saying that for next year, we will have revenue of about 50 crore from medical devices. You said 15 crore and 15 crore in the last 2 quarters, so that will be 30 crore. Plus in the first 2 quarters, another like 7.5 and 10. So overall, close to 50 crore of revenue from medical devices for next year. Is that correct?
Yeah. Projection, and again, based on the inquiries and information we have been receiving, the demand is a lot more than the sources of supply right now. And we are also in touch with major players on a worldwide basis. For example, a leader in this field is Mylan company who are looking for manufacturing sources like Cupid to supply them these different types of kits.
Okay, sir. And like what sort of margins are you expecting? Because in the previous call you mentioned that you will be splitting the profit 50-50 with Invex. So can you let us know what is the EBITDA margin that will be attributable, that will come to Cupid after paying Invex?
It would be, our target is about 15% net profit to Cupid on the next year's 50 CR sale.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. And on like this thing, US FDA, you mentioned that there's been a delay of like 4 to 5 months on the US FDA. So we will expect the revenues only coming from 2022 from US market. Is that the current expectation?
Yes, current expectation is that we should start to get some revenue in 2022 from US sales.
Okay, sir. And like last question is, you mentioned that we have this like partner in the Indian retail market where we will manufacture and they will sell the product to the Indian retail market. You have like a partner, I think it was P-Safe. Can you tell us what is the projection revenue that you expect from Indian retail market and what margins you expect for the next year from the Indian retail venture?
Well, we have just started the relationship, and they have very grand plans to go to the consumer market directly, and we are waiting for their projections. But we expect increasing revenue as we move forward. We have already fulfilled their order for 1 lakh pieces, and they are supposed to come back with their feedback next month to us.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. And I think you actually mentioned that you have the South Africa order later this year and Brazil order as well, close to the end of the year. Can you tell us how big are the order size in terms of crores? What is the order size in South Africa and Brazil, like the tender order?
Well, we don't know the exact amount because it would depend on their next year's financial budget. But we expect at least 45 CR order from Brazil, and at least that much from South African order.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. And I'll rejoin the queue if I have any other questions. But thank you for answering my questions.
Thank you, sir. We have next question.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have next question from the line of Nikhil Chaudhary from Chris Portfolio. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity and good evening. Sir, I had just one question. Wanted to understand, you mentioned about the arrangement with an Indian counterpart who will be retailing our products. So what sort of commercial arrangements do we have with this party? Could you throw some light on that?
You mean the possible orders for the diagnostics or for the condoms?
Sir, for the condoms.
For the condoms, most of the participation is directly from Cupid for these international tenders. And they are direct contract between Cupid and the government of that particular country or the international financial institution who is sponsoring the purchase of condoms. However, in case of Brazil and South Africa, their requirement is that the supplier or the manufacturer go through a local partner, local agent, which we are following, both in case of Brazil and South Africa.
Sir, thank you for this. But sir, my question was we recently have made an arrangement with an Indian counterpart who will be retailing our product. We will be manufacturing and they'll be selling it in the market. To the earlier participant, you alluded you have fulfilled the order for 1 lakh pieces and you expect a feedback next month. I just wanted to understand what sort of commercial arrangement do we have with that party?
In India, we are supplying them the products at a fixed price, and then they would retail market it.
Okay, and probably a sort color on some margins that we are working with.
Right now, to start the initiative on this project, which is very exciting for us, it's only 10 to 15% margin, which as their sales improve, we are hoping to get a little better margin.
Got it, sir. Thank you so much and wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. We have next question from the line of Vaibhav Bajatia from HNI Investment. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, sir. Thank you. My question has been answered. So no more questions from me. Thank you.
Thank you. We have next question from the line of Yogansh from Mittal Analytics. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Thanks for the opportunity again, sir. Sir, on the female condom side, we see the kind of numbers that the company is reporting on the profitability front are very good. So looking at the kind of order inflows that we are getting for the last 2 years and kind of potential we have going forward, do we see any new players coming up in the female condom for the tendering processes? Are we seeing any third or fourth player who are entering the market?
The question is the scope of future sales for female condoms?
No, sir. The question is regarding, do you see any new competition coming in the female side? Given the kind of fantastic numbers that we do and the traction that we are getting in terms of, bigger and bigger order sizes from various countries, do we see any more competition coming in the market?
As far as we know, there is no competition coming up for female condoms. As I mentioned before, there is language process of pre-qualification from WHO and UNFPA. There may be some companies working on it, but we don't see anything on horizon in next year or two, at least.
Right. That is good to know, sir. Secondly, sir, like you mentioned about the launching of the female condom in Indian market through a partner. So, do we also have any volume contract with them? What kind of volume numbers are we expecting through this?
It's too early because, like I mentioned earlier, we have supplied the first order, which was 100,000 pieces. We are yet to receive their forecast for rest of the year. But we are expecting a tremendous increase in demand as based on our internet sales and other domestic sales. We expect the overall increase in demand in India to be quite high.
Understood. Right. So, sir, in terms of capacity, I think correct me if my understanding is wrong, we were already running at near full capacity. So now, given that the Brazilian order and we also venturing into the domestic market, do we have enough capacity? Or will we need some more investment?
No, please repeat the last part.
So I'm saying, given the kind of capacity we are running at, do we have further scope in terms of production, or will we need to put up more capacity to fulfill the Brazilian order and domestic orders which we are expecting?
Yeah. No, based on the expansion we completed last year, we have expanded our capacity, including 52 million pieces of female condoms per year. So we don't see any constraint, at least for the next 3 or 4 years.
Okay, got it, sir. And sir, last question. On your medical device business, which you said you are expecting a sales of 50 crore in the next year, sir. Did I hear that right?
For the diagnostics, for the rapid test kits,
yes.
Our projection is that we are looking at about 50 CR business, mostly from export, but also from the domestic sources, like the Government of India tenders, and also several states are planning to issue tenders of their own. And it's mostly malaria, dengue, HIV, and COVID.
Okay. And sir, in terms of investment that we will be required to put up for this business, sir, what would that figure be?
You mean the expenses for this project?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we have allocated a total of 10 CR, but we expect to start the commercial operation and revenue generation with an investment of about 7 CR by mid-April next year.
Okay, so roughly 5 times asset turn we are expecting. And what kind of margins are we expecting from this business, sir?
our share of the margin should be 15%. And the
operating margin.
No, net margin.
Net margin 15%. Understood, sir. Understood. Perfect, sir. Those are my questions. I'll get back in the queue for any follow-ups.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We have next question from the line of Subbu Murug, individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Thanks again for taking my question. Could you give us a view on like your like revenue and margins for the next few quarters? So basically, currently you're doing about so like this quarter revenue was about 47 crores and profit was about 9.5 crores. Do you think you can maintain this for the next 3 quarters? So, or do you think it will be slightly higher, or do you think slightly lower because we don't have Brazilian order yet? Could you just give a view of next few quarters revenue and net profit? That will be very helpful.
Well, for the final quarter of this year, we are expecting a similar performance as the current quarter. However, starting the first quarter of FY22, we are projecting an increase in revenue from, say, about 150 CR to a total of about 200 CR. And the margins would improve accordingly as well. If we take a 20% net profit, then you are looking at about 40 CR for the next financial year.
Sir, but like last year, if I see the results for year ending March 2020, our overall revenue was around 64 CR, and our net profit was around 40 CR. So if you're saying that for next year we will do 200 CR, are you saying again our margin will still be 40 CR even though revenue goes up to by 40 CR, our net profit will be the same?
Well, the 40 CR I am mentioning is a conservative number. It could go up to easily, say, even 50 CR. However, we have yet to experience on the production cost precisely for these rapid test kits. These are the conservative numbers I am quoting on the diagnostics, but we are expecting better profit than 40 CR in total.
Okay, sir. Understood. And on like the order from UP, you had said that in the press release you had mentioned that UP order is around 8 to 9 CR. Have you already delivered that? And so the revenue is already included in this in the latest quarter like results that have come out, or this 8 CR will come for Jan to March this quarter, which we are talking?
No, the total order was 8.3 CR, out of which we supplied 6 CR by the end of December 31st, that is during third quarter. And the balance 2.3 CR we have already supplied in January. So we have supplied the entire order, and the good news is we have already received 100% of the payment from UP government for this order.
Okay, sir, but you said that for the diagnostics, the production will only start maybe from end of March or April. But you are saying we already we have already basically fulfilled the UP order. So it's just a bit confusing as to, so we are already up and running for the diagnostics, or we will only start commercial from April? It's just a bit confused on that point.
No, this UP order, because it was our first attempt to participate in the tender business, as soon as we received the order, we had to outsource it, as our factory in Nashik is still under construction. And our full scale operation from Nashik factory would start in mid-April. And between now and April, we are getting all the paperwork for registration into different countries, including US FDA, Indian drug controller, and many other potential customers. So our main facilities would be ready for commercial operation in mid-April this year.
Okay, sir. And have you noticed that like the prices of these diagnostic devices have been coming down? I think I'm just reading some news reports saying that although there is a lot of demand, I think a lot of players are entering into this market, and the price of the diagnostic devices are slowly coming down. Have you noticed that as well? Do you have any thoughts on would the price come down a lot and maybe our margins will be lower? Do you have any views on that?
Well, it is true that the prices have come down. When the COVID had just started, say in March last year, there was a shortage of all these materials, and the imported prices were quite high. And same trend was followed by the limited number of manufacturers who were in India. But then as the number of manufacturers increased and the government tried to slow down the import, the prices did come down. And we still expect a clear margin of 25 to 30% on these test kits. So the margins are still there.
Okay, sir. And on the 120, you said we have an order book of around 120 CR. If you could just give a breakdown, like would we expect it to be equal over the next 3 quarters, like basically 40 CR every quarter? Is that how we should look at it, or like the breakdown of the 120 CR every quarter? Will it be 40 CR every quarter? Is that okay to assume?
Yeah, the purely from the condom business, 40 CR on an average per quarter is a reasonable number going forward over next 2-3 quarters, depending on the allocation we receive from these big tenders. However, as I mentioned earlier, starting next year, we should be adding about 50 CR worth of sales from the COVID.
Okay, sir.
From these different types of test kits.
Okay, sir. Understood. And the last question is there any other major developments you're working on apart from the diagnostic and US FDA? Is there any? You said you registered the product in 8 other new countries. So are you expecting anything big from other countries, or anything else that we have not covered already that you would like to share with us?
Well, we during the last 10 years, Cupid has supplied its products to 93 countries so far. And this year, we are planning to register our products in 8 new countries, including Turkey, Morocco, Ghana, Argentina, Peru. So we are expecting more orders going forward from these new customers. And as I mentioned, UNFPA orders are increasing. We have had the best year so far in terms of the magnitude of orders from WHO, UNFPA, and they are supplying to various countries, mostly to Sub-Sahara region.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. So like last question is on like the US FDA. You said we will only expect revenues in 2022. But if we give them the test results in April or May of this year, you're saying it takes close to 8 months for us to, after submitting to US FDA, we will take 8 months for them to approve and for us to commercialize. So basically, why does it take so long? Can you give some more details on that?
Yeah. In general, US FDA process is quite time consuming, and normally it should take 4 to 6 months. But because of this COVID situation, US FDA people have become a lot more busier, and the other projects have actually slowed down. So we are estimating that it would take it may take up to 8 months by the US FDA.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, and all the best for the future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have next question from the line of Vaibhav Bajatia from HNI Investments. Please go ahead.
So actually my question has been answered. Thank you. No problem.
Thank you, sir. We have next question from the line of Abhishek Kapoor, an investor. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir. My question is on the CEO we were looking for. Are we still searching for, or that plan has been shelved?
Please repeat the question.
We were looking for CEO. Are we still looking for, or have we shelved that plan?
Oh, CEO. We, like I mentioned last time, our search is ongoing, but so far we have had no luck. In the meantime, though, we have achieved the major objective of diversifying Cupid business by creating this new vertical in terms of manufacturing of diagnostics. So our current management is going ahead with the expansion and with the top and bottom line improvements for Cupid all the time.
Right, sir. My next question is this on the partnership or on the contract manufacturing we are taking up for Indian companies. Is it that we are also trying ourselves to go into the market, sir, for female condoms?
We would also be going to the market along with the partner, but our partner had years of experience and they have direct contact with the buyer, not only in the private sector overseas, but also from the several large country public health departments. So yes, we would also be joining that effort, and most of the domestic marketing we can do it directly, as we have contacts with the state government and with the Government of India, Ministry of Health.
Right, sir. One last question, sir. Few days back, or you can say the last quarter, I had read one article which states that one company, the description is similar to our company, is looking to divest the stake. Is management looking to divest the stake?
Please repeat the last part.
Is our company looking to divest the stake to strategic investor or some other party?
Still not clear.
Is management planning to sell its stake to any strategic investor?
Several people have approached us, but since we have decided on these very attractive business prospects in terms of diagnostics, we are not thinking about that anymore.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have a next question from the line of Santosh Jain, an investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, sir. As you said that for the South Africa tender, you are expecting around 45 CR size of the tender. So is this 45 CR you are expecting for 3 years, or do you think this 45 CR will be for 1 year?
So it would be 65 crore order per year for 3 years.
65 crore for total for 3 years.
Sorry?
65 CR will be total for 3 years, because last time you received order from South Africa, it was 110 CR.
Last year we had received it for 120 CR. That was also for a period of 3 years, from 16 to 18.
So this time the tender size you are looking at is on a lower side.
Yeah, at least that much. Again, depends on the budget for the South Africa. As you know, due to the pandemic, economy of South Africa has suffered a lot, and we really don't know how the Ministry of Health budget would be in March when the new number gets out. So it would depend on that.
And for the arrangement with the Indian partner, you are expecting that around 15% margin you'll be getting. So this 15% you are talking of net margin or the operating margin?
No, it will be the net margin. We are expecting 30% total net margin, and 50% of that, or 15%, would go to each partner.
And the next year 50 CR revenue which you are targeting from the test kit business, is this the 50 CR that will belong to Cupid, or this is the total revenue of that division? Because your share will be just 50% of that.
No, the total 50 CR sales would be recorded in companies in Cupid's books. All the sales would be reported here, and the 50% of the profit would go to the partner, not the sales.
And in terms of your order book breakup, currently female condom has gone down to much lower than male condom. So going forward, should we expect the trend to be similar, that male condom will be higher than female condom, or do you think that female condom contribution can go higher than male condom?
No, most likely female condom order book will not go higher than male condoms, because the demand for male condoms is many times more than the demand for female condoms. So it would be mostly in the same ratio, 70 to 80 CR for male and 40, maximum 50 CR for female condom orders.
So the margins we used to get previously, they should come down, right?
Yeah, the margins actually have improved. Previously, we were doing 15 to 20% for male condoms, which has now improved to 25 to 30% due to lower cost of production. So we have improved our margin in the male condom. And as I mentioned earlier, our female condom margins are 45 to 55%, which we are maintaining.
So this 25 to 30% male condom margin is sustainable?
No, male condom would be 25 to 30%. That is what our objective is, and we are reducing the production cost even further wherever possible.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. We have next question from the line of Subbu Murug, investor. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Thank you for taking my question again. I actually noticed that on your balance sheet you have cash of so like cash and current investments are in total about, I think, 50 to 60 CR, and plus every quarter you're making around 10 CR in net profit. So can we expect that the dividend policy will be higher and you will pay a higher dividend going forward, or because of these new business ventures, you think the dividend will be the same? Or what is your view on the dividend?
Yeah. Now, our thinking is that we should maintain the dividend 4 rupees per share as we had distributed last year. However, the final number would be reviewed at the end of next year's quarter results. Our objective is always to maximize the dividend as much as possible.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. So like that is what is our intention as well. That if you can pay as much dividend as possible, then it will attract like shareholders who are like pensioners, who like rely on a steady stream of income. So my next question was on you mentioned briefly that you're talking to some large multinationals like say Mylan and other companies in like this medical like kit. So I was wondering if all the like sales that you do, even from Indian state governments as well as multinationals, they should all go through the joint venture partners. So for every sale, for every sale, Invex will get 15%, or we can deal directly with multinationals and make more profit. Is that an option, or we should always go with the joint venture partner, Invex?
Our understanding that we are looking at this business on a long-term basis. We expect to continue with a 50% stake. The main reason that we have entered into this agreement is the expertise and experience of our partners in terms of the brand and who are the major buyers and their contacts directly with them. So when the tenders will come out, what would be the size of the tenders? What are they looking for next year's price? So all the intelligence gathering resulting in the final orders for Cupid is the main contribution our partner would be making. And we stand to continue this arrangement for next several years.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have next question from the line of Anand Bir Singh, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, sir. I just wanted to know what the debt levels are and what are the plans? Are we looking at increasing that or decreasing that, and at what rate?
I'm sorry, the brands in which product?
No, I just wanted to know what the debt on the books is and what are plans. Are we looking at raising more money? I mean, taking on more debt or reducing the debt, and what is the plan with the debt on the books?
Are you asking if we are planning to take any debt?
Yes. Are we reducing debt, increasing debt? What is the policy with the debt on the books right now?
No, we have zero debt. It's a debt-free company. We have a temporary borrowing arrangement, working capital arrangement against our FDs with the banks. We have absolutely no plans to borrow any funds, as we have 54 CR surplus funds with us as of January 1.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have a next question from the line of Vaibhav Bajatia from HNI Investments. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, sir. Thanks for providing the opportunity. So you have earlier said that there can be few companies who are trying to get approvals in WHO and UNFDA. So can you please provide us more detail as to who are those companies, if you can provide the names of the companies and at what stage they are?
Please repeat the last part.
Yeah. So you have earlier on the call said that there can be few companies who are working to get UN, FDA and WHO approval for female condoms, right? So can you provide details of those companies? Who are those companies and at what stage they are in the approval process?
No, we don't know the specific names of the companies. All we know is that people have been attending the conferences and meetings, and they have indicated their interest to explore going into FC business. But we don't know of any specific contacts and at what level or what stage of approval process they are in.
Okay, sir. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have next question from the line of Dalpat Mehta from Sun City Advisor. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. I was just wanted to know, is there any negotiations going on for the dilution of equity or strategic partner in the company?
I think I tried to answer this earlier. Right now, we have no plans to look for a partner or some kind of equity participation, as number one, we have adequate financial resources in a debt-free company, and also the main reason for our excitement is the prospects for business going forward. I think the business of diagnostics will be improving each year due to more and more demand from not only COVID type of infections, but from other diseases like malaria, dengue, and HIV. HIV demand is increasing from all over the world. So we see very exciting prospects for Cupid in next 3 to 5 years.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have next question from the line of Onkar Kungardare from Sri Consultancy. Please go ahead.
Yeah, my question was regarding succession planning, sir.
Regarding?
Succession planning, sir. Who would be managing the second level management? What are the plans of you about succession planning?
Like I mentioned earlier, our current management structure and is well versed with all aspects of the business. And I have tried to give you a glimpse of the future planning as well for next 5 years. So if we do need any additional help, we can always look for some specialized expertise to help. But right now, we feel that we have adequate management strength to manage our current and immediate business.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We have a next question from the line of Ravinder K, an investor. Please go ahead.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, you are, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Sir, we have a cash of 54 crore, as you said, and I understand that you have parked it in the FDs. Is it only in FDs, or have you parked it in some mutual fund so that you can get a better return on the investments there?
Well, we part of our investment and savings is in mutual funds and partly in FDs. So we are constantly reviewing it, and we are open for suggestions from the shareholders for their recommendations how we can get the best possible return. I agree with you that the rate of interest is going down on FDs almost every quarter. But we are always looking for ways to improve the return on our invested funds.
Okay. Thank you, sir. And if you have been noticing, the share price has not been moving, or it has been actually stagnant since last 2 quarters or so. Can you propose any buyback or probably something like that that will help the guys who have been invested at least?
Say that again, the last part, please, about share prices.
Yeah, the share prices has not been moving a lot from the last 2 quarters or so, because right now the small caps and mid caps have started doing well, but Cupid has not been moving a lot. So can you consider any buyback for a smaller quantity, the share buyback?
Yes, we have been considering that, and we would continue to look at that. Normally, our concentration is on managing the business and making the profits out of the business, and not paying too much attention to the day-to-day fluctuations in terms of Cupid share price. However, we would consider your suggestion about buying back shares.
Okay. And you spoke about having a very good team of people who are working for the company. So I believe you have 2 sets of team, one working for the condoms and one working on the medical devices. Am I understanding right?
Yes, correct. We have people working on both divisions, condoms as well as diagnostics.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. We have next question from the line of Deepak Jindal from GoCheck. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hello, sir. Thanks for the opportunity. Sir, I just have one question. That, this quarter we had the lifetime highest revenue, but the profit was bit less, majorly because other expenses contributed to the operational cost. Just wanted to understand, is it a one-time thing which kind of, plays its part in this quarter and will not be repeated in the, coming quarters? Or is it a, sustainable phenomena?
Repeat the...
Hello, am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, you are, sir. Sir, we're not able to hear you.
Are you talking to me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you now. Please go ahead.
No, I wanted that last question to be repeated, please. It was not. I could not hear it.
Okay, so please.
Okay, let me repeat the question, sir. So I was just saying that we had the highest revenue so far, but the profit was not the highest. Because the other expenses took some of the profit to some extent. Just wanted to understand the guidance for the coming quarters. Is it these other expenses are a one-time phenomena which happened in this quarter, or this is gonna be coming up in coming quarters as well?
About the revenue from diagnostics?
No, sir. The overall revenue of the business.
Demand. We are forecasting a revenue of 7.5 CR in the first quarter next year, April to June, and increasing every quarter from there on.
Okay. Actually, sir, my question was that, what was the reason that, we had the highest revenue in this quarter, but the profit was not according to the revenue. Cost was bit on the higher side. So what was the reason because of it?
Yeah, no, please go a little bit slow. Tell me again slowly your question.
Sure, sir. So, sir, my question was, we had the highest revenue in this quarter. We made a revenue of around 27 CR, but our profit was not accordingly to the revenue because there were some other expenses which was there in the cost. Wanted to understand, is it a one-time thing, which the other expenses you said that, there was a marketing expense and there was a registration fee, or this is a phenomena which will come up in coming quarters as well?
No, this 7 CR cost is the total cost, including the construction, finishing the project site, purchasing machinery, and all the related costs called. And this is one time and full cost. We don't expect any additional capital expenditure on this diagnostics project.
Okay. Second question I had, sir, the guidance that you shared for the revenue as 200 CR and the profit as 40 CR, while you said it's a bit conservative, is it for the entire business, including condoms plus diagnostics, or is it only for the condoms?
The projection is that next year we could target at least 150 CR from condom sales and additional 50 CR from the diagnostics. This is our projection, making it a total of 200 CR top line turnover in the next financial year, FY22.
Okay. Thanks for the answer, sir. I'll join back in the queue.
Thank you, sir. We have next question from the line of Nikhil Chaudhary from Chris Portfolio. Please go ahead.
Sir, thank you. All my questions have been answered. Just wanted to appreciate the transparency with which you have always explained the business, and wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your comment.
Thank you, sir. We have next question from the line of Santosh Jain, investor. Please go ahead.
Sir, as you mentioned that your raw material cost and your overall cost of production is going down for the condom business. But if you look at the rubber prices, even the Indian rubber prices are, almost at 5-6 years high. And if you look at your raw material consumed as a percentage of sales, this has not gone down on a year-on-year basis. So I was wondering what gives you confidence regarding the cost of production going down?
The latex cost in the last quarter was up by 10%. Previously, the costs have been stable or going down. And some of the other costs, including packaging material, they have been stable or going down. Overall production cost is down because of improved and better utilization of equipment.
So, but as you increased your male condoms margins from 15% to around 25%, that is a very big jump. So, wondering without getting in help from raw material cost, how such a big jump is possible?
Yeah, this improvement, say from 15 to 20, up to 25% in this last quarter, are the actual realization based on different production costs, including that increase in latex, the temporary increase in latex rubber prices. So we are hoping to maintain margins, assuming that costs don't go up dramatically high. In general, all the commodities are rising, as you know, in price. And we are hoping that when the economy returns to normal later this year, that there would be no major increases in raw material prices. So we are watching these input costs very carefully every day.
So will you not be able to increase your prices of condoms to pass on the raw material cost?
It's about 60% of the cost is the total raw material, including all the chemicals, all the rubber, including the manpower costs for testing and the packaging cost, plus transportation.
So what I'm asking is, will you be able to increase the prices of your products to pass on the increase in raw material costs?
In general, because of competition, it's not easy to increase the selling price. However, in case of some specialized products with special ingredients, we are able to charge a little more from our customers. We have been doing that with a few customers. In fact, this year, that we have provided to them better packaging or better product with more variations they want, and that is the more practical way of increasing the selling price.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. We have next question from the line of Subbu Murug from an investor. Please go ahead. So your line is unmuted. Please go ahead. So Subbu Murug, your line is unmuted, sir. Let's go and ask your question. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last question. I now hand the conference over to the management for closing comments. Over to you, sir.
Again, thank you for attending the third quarter FY21 earnings conference call today. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank all our shareholders who have supported us through all these years, including the years when Cupid was struggling to come up to become a profitable. So we really appreciate all the encouragement and help the shareholders have provided to Cupid management. Also, we would like to thank all our employees who have worked with dedication throughout the year, and we hope that with their continuing improved performance, Cupid can even look forward to better days ahead. Thank you very much again.
Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Cupid Limited,